right, welcome back. So we've got XRT back on the bench. I know I broke the rear bulkhead. Hopefully I can come up with a fix for that today and put a pin support in there. But we also had something show up from TRAXXAS. It's most likely the part on the front. So here we go. Customer Earl Moorhead. ID description 7720X. Here's the X support for the front. XRT bulkhead 7720X. That was the thing I discovered immediately when it came to this RC. And some were saying you got to do the Vidavon fix, which is adding a strap. I'll take the other bulkhead. What you would do is you would take these holes here where the front strap for the pin goes. You would drill these holes through and you would add a strap back here, bolting it right where we need to be for our post. And I'll show you why. On this one, you see you can drill it out. The post exceeds where the pin would go flat against it. So if you put the strap here, or you modified it to get the strap here, it would be blocking these holes and it would defeat the purpose of the XRT bulkhead. So it doesn't work on the front. And I might still try to modify something to bring some sort of support up there, because I know that it is an issue. It was an issue with the X-Max, and it's an issue with the XRT. XRT seems to be breaking them a little quicker, and I think that's due to the wide arms. There's a lot of flex happening in those pins, and it's causing a lot of stress on the upper bulkheads. So here we go. Here's a bulkhead that's not broken here and here, as you see, because there's a strap up here. It doesn't break up in here. It breaks the support back here. They've made these extra thick, and then what's right in between this is your shock tower. Goes in between and pins right here. And with the arm given a lot of flex, it's literally snapping those off in the upward motion, which means the chassis is flexing down and the pin is snapping off. Now on the rear, you see it pulls out from the side. Doesn't pull out up. It's pulling out from the side, and those are from side impacts. So with all that, with everything I'm seeing, and now a new set broken, I know the rear's broken. I don't have another rear bulkhead, and that was a 7727R. Don't know what the R stands for. But I was noticing a crack in these uppers. Somebody was saying that they were noticing it was a molding crack. See if I have a front up here. And as you see, it's what I was noticing too when I was out there. You see this line? It's just a molding crack right there. So when dirt gets on it, it amplifies it and looks like it's cracking. And it's on both sides. Right here. So my front is not broken, but the rear is. Now I need to get this piece back on the front, which means I need to do front and rear bulkheads again, considering I just did it. On top of me just doing it, I just burnt up a Max 6. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Wired it up wrong and burnt out a Max 6. So with all that stuff said, I am going to replace out this front bulkhead because I do want the upper support, which I'll show you guys in a second. I want that upper support there. I've kept the hardware that I have off of it. So I'm going to show you guys that. And then I'm going to see if, I know the hobby store doesn't have a rear because I had to order that in. And they only received one. So I'm going to do this real quick on camera. And we're going to get into a little bit more detail on this because apparently I didn't zoom in and show you guys directly what's going on because I'm getting a lot of comments on people saying, well, do this or do the Vidavon bulkhead. I had one guy send me Bars and Tones X-Max video of him doing that modification on his X-Max. And I reached out to Bars and Tone and I'm like, man, it just won't work on the XTR. But cool video. So if you need to know how to do it on your X-Max, go check out Bars and Tone. I guess RC Dude 81 or somebody told him, you know, that's what he needs to do. And I don't think I can take the front and flip it to the rear. So, pull these pins out. This, I'm not going to pull the whole front bulkhead off this time. I'm just going to pull off the shock tower and do it from the top. Show you how easy it is. Even though it's easy and the part's cheap, $5 for the part. I don't know what this new part's going to be. I'm assuming it's still going to be $5. I'm not even going to pull the tires. It really is an easy repair. Once you've done it a few times. I am going to pull off this bumper. Which I didn't do last time. But it seemed to be in my way the whole time. And that really does lock in there. So now we'll pull these upper caps. I'm noticing taking off these upper caps, the more you're putting them in and out. As you know, I've already lost one of those caps, so I'm very leery on it. The more I'm pulling these caps in and out, the easier they're going in and out. I'm going to lay these over just to get them out of the way. So here is where you would lay the other strap in the back, because this is bolted here in the front. So you can take the same strap and put it in the rear, line it up with your pins, whether it's top or bottom, right? So you would, this would support the rear and the front. So, let's see, like that. You would drill these holes right here completely through, and then you would just nut and bolt it, and you can throw some spacers in there just so it's not bending the strap. But as you see, it's covering our two holes where our top plate goes, and that's the issue on the XRT. If this was on the X-Max, which I'll grab that bulkhead, this is, I think, the rear. Yeah, this is no, this is a front. So here's the front. All you would do is shave down these a little bit, and this would bolt flat to this section right here, but you do have to Dremel these ribs off a little bit, and then that would bolt flat there from there, and you would have a rear support. So that's the modification you would do drilling these through on your X-Max. Just take your Dremel and Dremel off a little bit of these ribs, and that'll add a lot of support right here to stop these from breaking. And I can save this bulkhead just by putting one of these back here, and then I can, if this is broken or not, it doesn't really matter. Which that's what I'm thinking about doing to the rear now, because the rear doesn't have these in the way. I can probably just add one of these straps to the rear. But when I can buy just a factory TRAXXAS part for cheap, I'll just do it that way. But I just wanted to put that out there for those with X-Maxes that don't know. That's what you would do with your X-Maxes. I haven't had to do it. My standard X-Max, I haven't had to do it. I'm definitely going to do it to the White Max. So these straps, I'm going to order. What do I got to order? 1, 2, 3. I got to order 6 of them, I think. So 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I got to order 6 of them. So once you do that, you don't have to pull this whole thing. All you have to do is take out the 2 upper screws, which we're going to do now. Loosen the center screw and the 2 bottom screws. Fingers in the way. Once you do that, you can just pop the cover back like that. Diff came with it, which is fine. That's going to give us room to lift it out. That's an angle that you guys haven't seen. So all we have to do is take off this upper brace. There would be 2 more up there, but I don't have those installed. I think I gotta take out this little screw. Trying to cheat this. Yeah, I'm gonna loosen the receiver box. Really? Oh, that box is in the bulkhead. So this should come off. There we go. That's really locked underneath there. All right. Up here would have been the 2 screws. But now I got to get the upper bulkhead off. I say upper bulkhead, what I mean is shock tower. So this is going to be your longest screw. Both ends. That's the stubby screw right in here. And then there's a long screw up here. Just not as long as those longest screws. So there's 3 sizes right here. I know where they go because I'm an expert at this now. And you don't have to pull out the side screws or the mount. I am going to have to, I'm thinking about drilling holes in this center to get to those bolts, but I'll have to remove the body mounts to put it back on. So now we're going to remove this strap for the steering. This connects the right and left, and these are shanked. Move that out of the way. I'm going to set those screws back into this and set this off to the side. That gives me access to the upper bulkhead now. And all these screws are the same. And as you see, there's no screws back here because that's part of your top plate. So 4 screws. And these 4 are the same length. That's going to take off your upper bulkhead. And as you see, this was the X-Max one for the front. That was my X-Max one that was, or this is my XRT one with the added post that broke. You can see the difference. And there's that line I was seeing, which is just a mold line. So luckily it didn't break, and I can use that for an X-Max. Fronts. And as you see, the rear is way different. It has the hump here for the center diff, so this won't even work on the rear. But now we can go ahead and put this in. I should have enough grease there, but I didn't grease the front. I left it, there was enough grease on it. This time I'm going to add some grease because I knew I was coming back in here. So I had to definitely do that diff. So the bulkheads are pretty easy to change out, but I don't want to have to come in here every run to change bulkheads. It's kind of like manufacturers for cars. They give you book time on doing a repair, but you can find shortcuts and cut down the time. It's kind of like working on the same RC. First time you do it, it's going to take you a lot longer. The more you do it, faster you're going to get at it. Now we're going to, oh, I got to put the cross brace on our steering first. Got to get our steering back together before I do this. So I'm going to slip that in, slip this over. Now that you know how to pull that, so this has got to go on first. And this has got to slip in between. Once you slip it in between your pins, your upper pins, it goes right in. And I'll have to remove that So we're going to go ahead and bolt down our shock tower. And you remember how this goes? The longest screw goes to the outer right here. The next longest screw, which are these two, go to the fronts. The longest screw to the outer, and then the two shorter ones go right in here. And that's how the screws play out. Alright, sales calls all on Sunday. So, until I take this off, I'm going to put my upper pins back in. And this went to the upper. There are two positions for these pins. Push it down. And we're going to put our pin caps back on. Just the little caps that hold the upper pins on. God, I don't like the way those things feel. Screwing in. Yeah, that was the longer bolt. And then I have to take out these mounts, but I'm going to throw the shocks in first. Then I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the front differential cover. Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and pop this mount off. Two screws on the front. That gets the cover out of the way. They make this to where you have to slip under this. Like that. Two long screws go here. The stubby screw. And then the rest of these are the same size. Snap it into place. And then we can put our upper mount thing back together. Hard to get those lined up. Let me move you to the other side. All right, so all we have left is our bumper. I find putting these top screws in after you've run it are better, because if you bolt those two down, it'll keep pulling the bumper down. So put these in first. There we go, upper bulkhead complete. So it doesn't take much time when you do it that way versus pulling the whole thing in half. But we will have to figure out something for bracing on that. And I'll use the broken part as mock-up. And once I figure it out, once I figure it out on both pieces. So these are the two pieces I need to figure it out on. Once I figure it out, this one will be easy. I'll just trim that, buy those straps. So I'm going to call the parts store or the hobby shop and see if they have any of those straps. I doubt it. Probably have to order them from TRAXXAS. But I'll order six of them, get them coming on the way, and we'll go from there. Hopefully this helps you guys on, you know, these upper bulkheads with the part number change and all that, because I know people are going to be breaking these things now. And once I get the modification done for the fix, I'll show you what that is so we can stop buying these upper bulkheads. And the new part number from TRAXXAS, 7720X for this one. If you look at the exploded view, they've added the X to the part number, but if you just go to try to order it, it's going to kick back and say 7720, because so far, as of this weekend, they're still trying to sell the X-Max upper bulkheads. Once those are gone, it's going to be the same part for all of them, the X-Max and the XRT, but they want to get all the stock that they have on the upper bulkheads for the X-Max sold before then. So if you got to order a bulkhead for this, call TRAXXAS up direct, speak to a salesman, tell them that you need the 7720X, not the 7720, that you need the bosses, or the standoffs or bosses. You need these standoffs on the bulkheads where the 7720 does not have it. There we go. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching.